And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Carolina Panthers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Right in. 180.
22. Eyes on 22.
Now Newton on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Set. 180.
Now Cam, option left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard. He'll go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you called it the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Set. Like 80.
On first down, it's Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
He's checking.
Ready. 180.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. His throw incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's 3rd down.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Right here. You gotta step it up.
Set. 180.
58, Mike.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now, after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Our first carry now for Jordan Howard. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Gone!
This is Howard on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And incomplete here on third down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
180.
Cam's going to run the option right. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read.
Come on now.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Set. 180.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Tight right. Set. 180.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Funches for the catch over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun. 4 down. Check. Set.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Great. Set. 180.
Out of the gun, Newton. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's get it.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Strong right.
Gun.
4 down.
Hey!
4 down.
Do some.
36.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he's got this down to the 35. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that close.
And usually a tight window, he fired a bullet in there for the completion. And past the 30 down to about the 27. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Set. 180.
Watch the run.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, Newton. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and then have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Newton to throw, and his throw is going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
20. Set. 180. Set.
Operating from the gun, Newton. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. In for the score. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Gano out to kick this one away. Short boot, take it at the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll begin to drive with Howard. So we got 3 at one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Detroit! Detroit! Pick it up! Pick it up! Pick it up!
On play action, they'll throw. Being chased out left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. He had a little bit of a turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
That's it! 180! Great!
Now following the interception, here's Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Gun. Set! 180!
They'll run it down out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Here we go. Set! 180! Gun.
On 1st and 10, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Set! 180! That's rock now. Gun.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And that's going to be caught by Funchess for a Carolina touchdown. Devin Funchess, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gano the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think they're going to stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
319! 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Burton. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on first down. Home by Anderson, left side. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Here we go! 319! 319!
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 6 there on first. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
They'll run it now. Out of gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Where's 52?
Looking to throw. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now back to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Silver, silver.
Hey, Mike 52! Mike 52!
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
I'm gonna run you over! Ready! 180!
Now a first down throw for Newton. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
80! Give a set! 180! What is it?
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Hey, 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 hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Green, 39! Green!
They go with Howard again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10.
Set. Ready to eat. 56. 8.
From the gun, Newton. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Great. Set. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Gun. Set. Ready.
After the run, Newton going to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The Panthers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Green. 20. Check. 180.
Operating from the gun, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold him.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. They'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Carolina getting set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team. Their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here. are teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go. That's rock now. Ready? 180. Gun. Express.
Here's Newton now on second down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Panthers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Great. 180.
From the gun, here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Bears take over. Onto the field now come the Bears. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him.
Let's go.
So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on his drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll look to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. K1 short. Able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
Set. 180.
Looking to throw on second down. Newton, they'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Great. Set. 180. Gun. 180.
Newton on third down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Watch it now, Barney.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Well, look at that, Chuck. A rookie picked the rookie on that play.
How about that? Is that rookie-on-rookie crime? But you know what happens, too. If you're a rookie defender, you tend to adjust to the game a little bit quicker than if you're a quarterback. Too many things still going through his mind. And on that play, the rookie defender won the battle.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
180.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Great. Here we go, set. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Set. 180.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Newton now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hey.
Set. 180.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Set. 180. Gun.
Out of the gun, Newton. midfield at the 50. 7 yards on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Set 180.
From the 50, Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I think we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Hart. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Let's get it.
The Bears on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is third down and 12.
Set. Blue landing.
Back to throw here. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Three down. All right, now, lucky 56. Gun.
Gotta try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kevon Seymour. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
Let's rock now.
3 down.
Ready? 180.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
Set. 180.
From the end zone, Newton launches with a catch over the middle. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. And defensively trying to beat the 2-minute warning with a timeout, and they do. Calling it with 2:04 left. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6.
Set. 780. 8. Great.
From the gun, Newton stays up. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Now let's go. 319.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
No.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Howard. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him, Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Panthers, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.